Welcome back to Let's Play Katawa Shoujo. Yeah, that's just going back and forth. C sharp, G sharp. Yeah, that wouldn't that. I don't know if that's the bass, then that's like. No, actually, I don't know what key is that. Oh wait, no, that is actually major. Yeah, I'm not sure what key is. I think it's C sharp, but I'm not 100% sure. I don't really care. It's kind of a random way to start off this recording. Put the guitar away. Otherwise I get carried away and all that shit with it. I feel disorientated, man. You know, it's weird, like, how freaking much days change throughout the seasons. Like, it felt like for the longest time it was always like, you know, light outside for freaking ever, seemingly. But now it's like freaking dark and it's like only 5 PM. It's ridiculous. Adds to the disorientation, really, other than my sleeping pattern. You know, in the previous recording... Ow, my head. Yeah, man, I'm just too disoriented to even ramble, honestly. That's how disoriented I am. It's afternoon, I think. Well, it was. I usually tend to see 5 as, you know, the start of the evening, but whatever. Has Hanako been around? She's getting out of class without me even noticing. I don't even know how to go about it, man. It's like it's just like, add to the fact I was just looking at riddles, like a list of riddles just now, and my head is just not functioning correctly. It's just like, may need rebooting. But, in the previous parts, with those scenes, while I was editing, I was like just thinking to myself, imagine if I was physically there. While they were having these scenes, I'm just standing there in the same room, just kind of rambling on about completely different things as those scenes play out. Heck, just picturing it for any scene in general. I mean, how random would that be? I put it in the video description on one of the parts, but whatever. Speaking of which, oh, you can't see it really, can you? Because of the window. But to the right here that you can't see, this part currently has 52 views. This one has 42 views, while this one has 27 views. These are the 3 parts I've uploaded since returning to this LP. How the fuck did they get so many views? I mean, granted, it was all in kind of one go, it seems, because they haven't increased much since, you know. But still, it's like, holy shit, that's usually only like, after like, a certain amount of time has passed. Like, usually it's like, about 4 or 5 views, and then it just gradually build up over the year or something, I don't know. But that was freaking just sudden. I guess people really want to see Return from Hokkaido and the bath scene, I guess. But what they got instead was just me rambling, much like this part so far. Anyways, let's get to the plot. Hanako been around. Jeez, get out of class without me even noticing. Lily cradles her cheek thoughtfully as I take a seat, my bag taking its place against the closest leg of the table and my unsatisfying meal neatly set out in front of me. She did appear for a time. She said she had to study for the upcoming exams and left for the library. Bird, why have you got such a high-pitched chirp? Every time, every day, chirping all day long. And, well, it doesn't even feel like the day. It feels like the bloody night, man. It's literally pitch dark outside. Aside from the street lights, it's only 5:30 for crying out loud. No wonder why, my sleeping patterns have been all over the place, man. It's just disorientating. I woke up at, some point in the morning. It was just grey outside. It might as well have been, going into the evening already. And then I woke up in the afternoon because I just laid in. And it's maybe 2 p.m. or something that I got up at. And I looked outside and it was already freaking looking like it was getting ready to be dark. It's it's weird, everyone was always throughout September and parts of October, it's man, this weather is weird. It's got all the sun and all that shit. Well, that's gone back to the default now, hasn't it? It's nope, typical British weather, just dark and dreary. Just grey. With occasional sun here and there, but mostly just clouds. Well, not even that. It's dark early now, this time of year, whatever. Violet's not entirely believing her words. Well, at least her intentions are in the right place. She is sweet, but she needn't go this far to let us have our space. I might talk to her about it sometime. Probably for the best. For a while we quietly eat our meals, Lily elegantly nibbling on her sandwiches and sipping her tea as I eat what tastes like a garden sandwich in dry dough as the birds rattles the mirror and chirps. The atmosphere feels slightly strained, none of us knowing quite what to say to each other now that our small talk has dried up. Eventually we both finish our food with no conversation forthcoming for quite some time. Eventually, though, Lily stops, voice breaks the silence. A lot happened back there, didn't it? Again, silence, with both our minds on the same topic, though. I think I have my feelings on that sorted out. I know everything happened in kind of a hurry. You're correct on that, Hisao. I mean, that escalated really quickly, those scenes, but I don't regret anything that happened in Hokkaido, not one bit. Hisao? Slightly tense, I take her hands in mine, half to feel her, half to settle my own nerves. I stand by my words back there, Lily. I love you and I won't leave you. I only wish for you to think the same. She silently reflects for a long time, which feels like an eternity. Our little day comes to an end as she takes one hand from mine, placing it over them as she leans her body forwards and stands out of her chair. After a moment's hesitation, her face slightly pensive, her lips meet mine for a brief moment. My mind feels as if it briefly stopped at that moment. There string Lily sitting bed in her chair and smiling back at me with ever so slightly red cheeks. C sharp, G sharp, C sharp, G sharp, or maybe it's the other way around, I don't know. Well, that makes me very happy, Hisao. I would be glad to stay with you. It's just weird, man. It's just going back and forth notes, so it makes me think, if that's the key, then would the G sharp bit be a minor chord or not? Because it feels like that's the key, but when I played the minor chord, it didn't sound right. So maybe it's a major chord, I don't know. Maybe it's not supposed to be a chord, it's just a root note. So just, I don't know. Whatever, I'm rambling again. Maybe it would be good to slow things down a bit, compared to before. We still have school after all, and our exams. She gives a mischievous giggle, which proves to be contagious. That might be a good idea indeed. Do you think you'll fare well in your exams? It's only one day until they arrive, as you say. I probably should have studied more, but I think I've got enough head to manage. That said, I had to bat off Nisha and Suzune. Your class is worried about the exams as mine. She lets out an exaggerated sigh, all but confirming it. I'm thankful for the atmosphere becoming a bit lighter. I think so. I've already been asked for help by 2 of my classmates, and there'll no doubt be more. Think of it as your first training in being a teacher, maybe. That's probably a good way to think of it. On that note, how are you faring in your English studies? I remember it was far from your strongest subject. The few sentences you memorized speak to my mother aren't likely to help. Damn, right on the mark. You might as well ask me, just like, how are your Japanese studies going? Just like, actually, pronunciation's the key here. I suck at speaking the language. Actually, I'm not even all that great at recognizing, translating the language either. But I'm getting there. So, sort of. Like, on the quiz things, I've, like, got 100% 3 freaking times in a row. And you know what? That reminds me. The previous one, like, when I went to the college last week, the one quiz that I did was completely freaking weird. Like, it follows a simple pattern, right? It's just like, what phrase would you use in reply to this? Or, what is, like, the correct spelling of a word in this phrase, right? Straightforward. That's kind of why I've been so focused on, you know, memorizing the alphabet and all that, and just be like, okay, I gotta get this down, otherwise when that comes around, I'll constantly be checking my notes. But I've kind of gotten used to it now, so I don't even need to check my notes as frequently. But this one just threw me off. Where are my notes? Trying to remember what this phrase was, because it was weird. It was totally not the phrase that had the word in it. I don't remember what it was, but it was the wrong phrase used in the quiz. It was. What was it? I don't know. Should really, memorize the phrases as well, I can't remember it, honestly. But essentially, the phrase did not have she in it. We'll put it that way. And why that is of importance is that the 4 options for the correct spelling of a word in the phrase all started with she, the character for she. And since I did not hear that in the phrase, it clearly was using the wrong phrase. So I had to kind of look at the words that were there and just kind of go with what words I kind of recognize from a different phrase, because they clearly used the wrong audio phrase there. It was confusing. Anyways, you got me. If you don't mind, would you be able to possibly help in that regard, please? What about last time she offered to help? You turned it down. It would be my pleasure to help you, Hisao, but in exchange. She lowers her eyebrows at me. There it is! There it is, right there! Was it the previous part? Or maybe it was a different LP entirely. I don't even remember. I think it was, actually, one of the previous parts. Where it's bitching about the English language using these other freaking kind of phrases in there and all that. It just pisses me off. Because I don't know the pronunciations. Anyway, whatever, pronunciation, nature, tentatively coming to the fore. No problem at all. You'd probably be better off with some help in your studies, though. She beams a smile at me, one of girlish victory that nearly makes me blush. I get the feeling she's aware of how to use her face to twist my judgment, so I should probably be more on guard. Here and now, though, our study group seems like an expedient way for both of us to shore up our more lacking skills. The school bell rings out, reminding us that time isn't going to stand still. Now, here's a thought. Like, whenever Hisao uses words like that aren't, English words, like other European languages thrown into the mix, this is supposed to be like they're in Japan, right? So while we see it all as English, it's all supposed to be Japanese to them, right? So does Japanese even have the equivalent for those words? Some words just don't really have a translation. I don't know. It's confusing. And it's more confusing when you think we're reading all this in English, but they're supposed to be, speaking in Japanese. And to add to the confusion, Hisao is supposed to be absolutely terrible at English. And here I am voice acting him in fluent, for the most part, English. I say for the most part because my pronunciation isn't always perfect. School bell rings out, remind us that time isn't going to stand still. Yes, it is. I could just, be like, oh, I'll see you next time, and time will stand still till our next record for you guys here. Ah, lunchtime's over already. The bird is the lunch bell. It sure is easy to lose track of the time here. This room's so far from the other clubs and activities, not much sound can reach us. That's probably most of the reason why. A place far from the others, alone with just one person whom she loves. As Lily stands and collects her bag and cane, my thoughts are cast back to the time we spent in Hokkaido. Before I go, Akira and I are having a homecoming party in my room tomorrow. Will you be able to come? And back again. My schedule is free, so I should be able to make enough room in my study time to make it. Good to hear, Sal. For what it's worth, I'm glad you're back from Scotland. Once exams are over, we should have some more time to ourselves. Holidays start soon after, too. We can start the holidays with Tanabata then, just as we promised at the school festival. You know what? That was one of the phrases I actually learned something about exams. You know what? I've got this notepad that I got off the, I don't know what really call it, really. She's not really the teacher or tutor. Well, she can be, but she obviously doesn't understand Japanese, so she just kind of, puts the, courses on and all that. It's online, as I've said a billion times. And I'd, have to have a second notebook, because the first one I finally filled up. And this time around, I wrote out the entire alphabet. It's 1, 2, 3, 4 bloody pages. I think it's 71 characters, and then I somehow fitted the katakana alphabet on one page, because I was, doing pronunciation as well for all the other ones in hiragana. So with katakana, I just wrote it down and just, put a note, just, pronounce the same way, essentially. It's just used for non-Japanese origin words. And I haven't quite got used to it yet. And, I also wrote down these other ones. You got these miniature kind of things going on that kind of form, an extended version of it, or something, I know, kya, kyu, ya, gyu, yo, sha, and all that. It's essentially just combining two letters of the alphabet, I suppose you can call them that, but the one after it, it's smaller. You've got, what ones are there? There's ya, you, and yo. They're kind of added on to other ones to kind of form different kind of words. I don't know how to describe it. And then you got this kind of miniature small Pac-Man thing that kind of extends a word, a letter, makes the pronunciation stand out more. And then in katakana it's represented with a line. I'm not making any sense, am I? The odd thing was, I actually was rambling on about that very same thing in a recording of the Pokemon XD Gale of Darkness LP the other day, of all things. Because I finally got back to that after nearly freaking 3 months. Anyways, where's that phrase? There's one for I have exams in June. I don't know really how I'd use that phrase. Is there another one that had something like that? Yeah. A lot of these phrases feel like I don't know how I'd be able to actually apply them to real life. Like if I was in Japan, for example, what purpose would it be to say that? I mean, even if I truly did have exams in June, you know, I think that's the only one that has it. But I suppose the thing is, like, I take from it is that you're kind of like, I'm kind of like paying attention to the order of the sentence structure and all that. Like it's Tesuga, Rokugatsu ni arimasu, or something like that. Oh, wait, no. Man, the way I write out the pronunciation sometime. Tesuga, Rokugatsu ni arimasu. That's a weird thing I've noticed as well. Is in that one, yeah. Su. It always ends up just having the S pronounced, but not the su part, the E. It's like desu, but it's like, whenever I hear it's pronounced des. And it's the same with arimas. It's not arimasu, it's arimas. It's like that silent letter that you freaking get in quite a lot of English words, isn't it? Silent bloody letters. I mean, you can pronounce it like that, but I think like it's more traditionally probably pronounced, you know, without that. I don't know. I'm rambling. Anyway, back to the plot. So you can start all these ways all around it. She brings her hand to her cheek and laughs, slightly nervously, recalling the event as I silently thank myself for managing to remember. It seems odd to see her react in such a way, though it's not like I never saw her in basketball. I'd better be going. Farewell, Sal. Bye. Whether it's out of habit or just a stubborn desire for one small fragment of normality, I hold my hand up in farewell, just as I always do. At least I'm consciously aware that I'm doing it now. I think I begin to see a bigger picture than I ever have before, not only with Lilly, but also my life ahead. You know, now that it is silence, let's see if that, well, let's see how it sounds without the music. Yeah, I think this is the root. Yeah, it doesn't quite sound right as a minor chord, really, does it? Wait. Oh, no. Wait a second. Oh, it was a frickin' major chord. That's where the dominant 7 would be. I was looking at it wrong. Wait. Yeah, I don't know. Thing is, my guitar tutor like give me a bit of homework, sort of, just kind of like listen to music and work out the intervals, and I just don't know how to do that when it comes to stuff like this, because it's not like 5. The sim note, but it's not a 5. I just don't know how to work them out sometimes, and it pisses me off. But yeah, that seems to be major. C sharp major, then it goes toward G sharp major chord, but it's still C sharp major. Unless it's a flat, but I don't know the difference. So modally that'd be ionin, mixolidin. Simply based on the fact that it's going. I don't know. I'm just, you know, still kind of a bit getting used to music theory. But anyways, I think I begin to see a high picture now before. I have had before, not only with Lilly, but also in my life ahead. The chains of my past are finally breaking. God damn it, how did that go? Wait. Something like that. Walking up the now slightly more familiar corridors of the girls' dormitories, I can hear the faint sound of laughter coming from up ahead. I think that's C major. It doesn't take long to identify the sources of Lily's room, though the deep timbre of the female voice unmistakably belongs not to her, but to her sister. I rap my knuckles on the door with the usual 3 slight taps, anticipating an interruption at some point probably. That's not in the text though. My hand barely retreating as the door swings open. Hey, Sal! Hey, hello, Lily, Hanako. It's the same CG. Hanako looks up tentatively, her hands buried in her oversized pink nightgown. From her side, Lily turns sideways towards the direction of my voice and smiles. It would be a flagrant lie to say I dislike the sight of her in those pajamas. I catch Akira give me a sidelong look with a knowing grin, to which I reply with a sharp glare. She takes the hint, shrugs, and walks back to the low table in the center of the room. As I go to join her, Lily gives me a nod of greeting and starts pouring me a cup of tea. Nice to see you again, Hanako. You've been getting around recently. Lily wears a look of concentration as the light brown liquid, carefully measured by her fingers, always flows from the teapot into the cup. It seems Hanako has taken up helping one of the people in your class with the newspaper club. Naomi, I think. Naomi. Why does my voice sound weird there? Have I got a save point made anywhere in this entire LP where we're going? I'm not sure. Maybe it's not that girl that I'm thinking of. Yeah, probably not. Look at all these save points, man. Every time I make a save point, I don't save over it. So you've got all this, man. That's kind of nice when you think about it. Look at this. It's like, it tracks all of the times that I've recorded then, really, isn't it? The 1st of January this year, 2nd, the 3rd, 10th, 16th, 23rd, 27th, down there, February, March, April. Wait, what? That one stands out then, doesn't it? I guess I must have saved over that one, I guess. Anyways, March, April, May, June, July, August, September. Notice, no October. I did not do any recording on October, and you see, even though I uploaded this part that where I'd like save from here on October 1st, I didn't actually technically do any recording for this in October. And right on November 1st there, man, that's when I recorded again. Slow steps will waltz. I like the sound of a waltz, it has a nice kind of sound to it. Was there something? Oh yeah, just like who's she talking about? Hanako gives an affirmative nod. Even after spending about 2 months in the class, I still have trouble remembering the names of those students I rarely talk with. No shit, we don't even know anything about them, man. The only person that comes to mind is the girl that has the amputee girl that has the one of her hands missing. But I'm not sure if that was her, because actually now that I think about it, it totally isn't. I can't remember what her name was, but it definitely wasn't Naomi. It takes me a few mental contortions to connect this name with the face, but I eventually remember the girl that sits beside Hanako at the back of the class. That's gonna be a save point I'll end up saving over at the end of this, but, well, no, I'll keep it like that, just to keep a tradition here. Let's go check it. Extras, read all about it, gallery. Where is it? Must be you then. This is Naomi. So she's been studying with her then? That's the girl I was thinking of, but it clearly isn't her. I forget her name. We have a name! So, we've got Hanako, obviously. Now we've got Naomi. We've got, I forget her name. Now we just need a name for you, and you. And move to the side. I'm not sure if we know your name, I don't think so. We don't know your name, Shizune, Misha. I don't know who you are, or you. Scroll very slowly. Is there anyone we missed? Nope. So, it's all come together. We finally know another classmate's name, sort of. So that's something. Damn it, I forget what the note was. It's F sharp major. Well, not the beginning bit there, it's in a different key, but whatever, get back to the plot. Face meal Pilari right now. Naomi Inoue. Oh, we even have a last name. A fairly average looking girl, except for her bleached blonde hair. We're going back to that. Very average looking. She does stand out. Just like, I don't know. She actually does look like she could potentially, be an actual, at least a side supporting character or something. Maybe even a main character. I don't know, pretty much any of these characters really, couldn't they? I mean, look at this guy right here with the band on his hair. He looks like he could be related to this girl right here. Anyways, so, back to the plot. Given her upbeat and straightforward personality, Naomi may have seen an opening to poach Hanako for her club when she inquired about joining one. Oh, really, it's nice to see Hanako broadening her horizons. When I first met her, the idea of her joining the club of anyone but Lilly would have seemed utterly laughable. That'd explain how busy you've been enjoying it.
It's really interesting.
As always, Hanako is far from being talkative. Some things never change. It seems that Hanako's personality is one of them. She'll likely always be one to shy away from being overly social.
Damn.
Anytime I record and pick up my guitar and try to work out a melody, it never works out. But I know I'm rambling on and on, but if you watch my videos regularly, you're kind of used to it by now, I guess. But when I was recording for the Pokemon XT Gale of Darkness LP, I was going through battles and the same bloody track was playing each time, and I kind of got so used to it that I pretty much figured it out. But that's not the case here, because it only happens when I'm not recording. And anyways, put the guitar down, warned by the sound of crockery against the table as Lily gently places my drink in front of me. I thank her and take a long sip. Hanako and Lily are attending their own, and Akira is quaffing a mug of strong-smelling black coffee. You're a lucky bastard, Sal. Huh? I can't help grimacing at her teasing smile, still visible around the edges of the mug pressed to her lips. See, my sister pajamas, there's a lot of men out there who'd like to be where you are. I've seen a lot more than that of her, not that I'd admit it. Akira! Hey, I'm just teasing. She leans over to me as much as she can, whispering with a sly grin written on her face. And Hanako too, you perv. Hey, it was her idea. We both look over to her, her face turned to the ground and her hands fidgeting in the lap of her nightgown.
If it's Hisao, I don't mind.
This could be bad. I know Hanako's altogether too innocent to bother reading too much into such a thing, but the expression Akira directs at me is positively toward me.
Akira, please.
It seems Lily can sense Akira's sudden change in aura just as well as I, even without seeing it for herself. Akira slowly looks away from me like an attack dog lashed by its owner in the nick of time. I breathe a sea of relief, a sigh of relief. I can't think of a more appropriate time to try and change puppets done around now. You don't mind me asking, Akira, what do you do for a living? I've never seen you out of that suit. Think about what to do with yourself after school's over, eh? I'm a lawyer. For the most part, I work in the legal department of a Japanese branch of family's company. Most boring possible answer, I suppose. Those are a pretty dry topic to most people. Kinda. Yeah, but why would you always have to be in the suit? Is it 'cause, well, I suppose maybe there's, I don't know. Well, you're not supposed to agree. Lily gives an amused giggle while holding her teacup and saucer, Hanako quickly joining her. This friendly atmosphere between everyone is something I'd missed while Lily and Akira were on their trip. While the dealings I had with Hanako didn't help, I think just not having Lily around changed the mood.
It's nice to be back. I miss you, Hisao, and you too, Hanako.
Same goes for the both of us. I'm guessing our classmates were happy to see you back.
In a manner of speaking, yes.
Akira's amused snort shows she's well aware of Lily's attitudes towards such figures of speech. I imagine she'd have to be, given how long they've been together.
Did you have fun in Scotland?
For a moment I wonder why she's asking. It's having been quite a while since they came back. But then I remember everything that happened. We've simply not had time to look back, and with the exams and our Hokkaido trip, I mean. Lily's face goes distant for a moment, and the fact that Akira's first reaction is to look up to her sister doesn't escape me. Nonetheless, she quickly collects herself.
It was nice. We hadn't met our family in such a long time, so it was a wonderful reunion.
Yeah, I guess that's right. The house parade beachside was the best part, though. From her dismissive tone, I get the feeling Akira doesn't like their family as much as Lily does.
You only like that because you finally had time to play around.
Just because I'm the better swimmer.
I don't take after the athletic side of the family, that's all.
Well, you can take heart in the fact that you got the height genes at least. And the bust genes.
That's not really the kind of thing to say around others.
Though Lily pretends to scold Akira, she does so with an unmistakable, slightly cheeky grin on her face. I doubt Akira really minds that, judging from her nonchalant expression. While I don't either, Hanako is looking down and blushing furiously beside me. The sisters' antics aside, their parents really do lead a august lifestyle. I probably butchered the pronunciation, as I usually tend to. It seems utterly divorced from the life that Lily and Akira have lived until now. I suppose practically Ali must have made a decision for them. To have come from such a wealthy and well-connected lineage only adds to the almost noble air Lily seems to have, though. It's small wonder none of it seems to have rubbed off onto Akira. They really are as little alike as siblings could be. The only similarity seems to be their shared confidence, which can be both endearing and a headache at times.